Hello and welcome to the show. Today we have with us the MD and CEO of Tata Consultancy Services, Natarajan Chandrasekaran. Chandra, so good to have you on the show and many congratulations. TCS has just completed 10 years as a listed company, has given phenomenal growth to its shareholders, and last 5 years are the ones which have shown the most amount of growth for the company with you as the MD and CEO. Now, as you start the new journey for the next 5 years in this role, what are the various goalposts that you're looking at and what is your target?
I think TCS has had an incredible ride. And first, let me tell you that when I took over as CEO 5 years ago, the company had a very, very strong foundation. It's already very successful, and we had many things in place. Technology's role in the world has never been this strategic ever before. I'm not only talking about the digital, the core digital technologies are important, but there are a lot of composite technologies that are getting built around the core digital technologies. We call the mobile, cloud, social, analytics, and robotics as core technologies. But if you take Internet of Things, if you take a 3D printing, so many composite technologies are getting built, and these are going to have a profound impact in businesses. So I think there's lots of opportunities, and what I am looking for is how TCS will continue to be at the forefront of investing, leveraging these technologies in the context of our customers. We have a great opportunity, and we have a great position, and we should be able to leverage that and in fact lead in this whole digital revolution.
People are also talking about $100 billion, that kind of a market cap for TCS. Now, that is not something that you control, but the growth is something that gets projected on the stock price and the movement as well. In terms of revenue growth, what is the kind of target that you have? You were the first Indian IT company to cross that $10 billion figure. Now, what is the next goal post, and probably crossing $20 billion by what time?
We will continue to grow organically very well. It is not to say that we won't do acquisitions, but we'll continue to focus and drive a lot of organic growth because the opportunity is there. But we have a strong balance sheet, strong cash pile, and we are always on the lookout for strategic opportunities to acquire. So if an opportunity presents itself, that we will do that as well. But it's going to be a combination, but we believe that we will deliver very solid performance.
You touched upon a very interesting point. I will come to that later, but I just wanted to ask you, in the next 5 years, like you said, in the top 10 world IT companies, you've already got a position there. In top 3, when are you planning to go up there?
I think, those are, it depends on what parameters you look at it. Okay, already we have a very strong position in terms of number of employees, market cap, profitability, etc. So I think you can keep on benchmarking in various parameters. I think I'm not going to say whether top 3, this much revenue, this much market cap. All of those things will follow. I think if we do what we have to do, which is get the top mind share with customers and continue to believe in the opportunity and build the team and start to continue to deliver the kind of performance we have been delivering. I think if you can continue to deliver that performance, all the other metrics happen, right? You can't just be chasing metrics.
Now, even though TCS has been talking about non-linearity and getting that revenue in as a big share of your total revenues, it hasn't really played out as much. That is at least the understanding on the street. When is that going to play out, and how focused are you on the digital, SMAC, these kind of spaces?
I think, again, I have always said that don't ask me what will be your percentage of non-linear revenue by when. Because any business model shift requires adoption. Business model shifts don't happen just because you have an alternative business model. Okay, business model shift is possible because the technology today enables it. The possibility happens because the technology enables it, and the realization happens because customers adopt it. And these two are two different lines, and we've got to be in the middle to make sure that we are staying as close as possible to both lines. We have a path. We have a very strong geography footprint. We have a very strong diversified industry footprint. We work in 10 different industries. We have a very strong services footprint. We have significant investments going in digital. We have focus in platforms, horizontal platforms, vertical platforms. Now, all of these things are part of the strategy, and all of these things are towards the customer segment that we are operating in.
What are you picking up from your clients, and when is this space expected to become big for your business?
So I think the digital, there is a significant interest from customers and a significant adoption, and our digital business is definitely growing faster than the rest of the company, and it will be so. It will only accelerate, and I've already said that we are looking at least $5 billion in the next 4 to 5 years coming from this. And in terms of platforms, there are different platforms that we have, and we have proof points for all the platforms. But the acceleration for these platforms will take time, and I would be happy to see a good adoption of some of these platforms in the next 5 years. Okay, and it is not about what share of the overall revenues. Okay, hopefully the company will be much larger when we look at 5 years from now. So it should not be viewed as what percentage of TCS is coming from a particular type of service, what portion of the incremental revenue contribution a particular service is going to contribute, whether it is a platforms, whether it is products.
No, but they are high margin products and services. Therefore, the focus has always been.
We are happy with the margin we are operating at. We have said that our margin focus is around where we are operating now, and we are pretty confident that we'll be able to maintain that.
So Chandra, who are your new competitors now? You've left behind everybody in India. Everybody is now pitching you against IBMs and Accentures of the world, which in terms of revenues are much higher. Are they your new competitors? What are you now dealing with when you are talking about digital space, new areas, and then also going high on growth?
See, I always said that I think there are always a set of companies that we meet. And it varies from market to market, it varies from service to service, and I never look at a specific firm as the competitor always. It depends on the situation. So you meet everybody, and you meet big players, you meet small players, you meet startups, you can meet anybody, depends on what you offer. So I think it will be a mistake, complete mistake on my part, on anybody's part, to assume that TCS views A or B as the only competitor. That's not correct.
Yeah, but there are learnings from the other big ones also that I mentioned, like the base effect and the negative impact of that everybody is talking about. Till now, you have been pretty immune to that. 300,000 workers, that's a large workforce, and you are only increasing with every quarter. So how are you going to manage that, and what are the challenges that you're facing there?
I always have said that the most important thing in running a company of this size is to realize the potential lies with how we can build teams, how we can build a collaborative effort of the 300,000 people we have, or 350,000 people we will have, and that's the fundamental. The second thing is, how do we continue to build the organization, make the interventions in the structure and the processes and the tools and technology that we deploy, so that we are nimble, we are agile, and we are able to leverage the scale, and above all, not become bureaucratic.
No.
Okay, right. And that's the secret. You ask me, what will you do? That's what I will do. It's not about anything else. It is just about this.
When I talk about the hirings and manpower, won't your cost really increase going forward, because you're talking about specialized services like digital areas and others? Now, do you think that your inherent talent at TCS will be able to completely translate into that, and will you be able to fully capitalize on them, or would you really need more professionals to join to take over those roles?
As we build the business, as we shape the future, there will be people inside the company who will take on new roles and who bring the capability. If they need some training, they will get some training, and there will be specific resources we may have to hire. We will hire. So, for example, when we started the digital practice, we bought the entire team from outside to start with, right? They were running a startup, a small group of people. So I said, why can't we take them over and create the seed? It's not to say that somebody else in TCS could not have been nominated. I thought, being in the startup world, they were exclusively doing this, and they were interacting with a lot of startup companies, and as well as they were showcasing their products and services to big companies. So I thought they have been listening to the market a lot more, and they've been doing it day in and day out. So I met the team, I liked them, I said, okay, why don't you guys come inside? And then made a value proposition. Then I built a whole lot of top talent from TCS, part of the team. Then we kind of scaled up from there.
So where is your cash going to be utilized for? Yes, dividends you did give, and quite a bit of that this time on your 10th anniversary as a listed company. Is that going to be more recurring in nature, or would you just decide?
I think it's a combination. We will, it'll be a combination of dividends and acquisitions. So we are generating a lot of cash. So at any point in time, we feel comfortable in at least having certain amount of war chest. And so if we are finding the right target and we're putting it to use, then we do that. Otherwise, we paid out dividends. So we have a healthy track record. We've been paying dividend at a particular level, quarter after quarter, and every alternate year we have been paying something special. So there is a pattern in the way we have done this, but this year we did a little bit more because of the 10th year anniversary. So I think we'll continue to pay healthy dividends, I think, because we generate a lot of cash, but we will definitely maintain a certain amount of war chest for acquisitions. And but we don't have a specific target saying that next year I've got to acquire so much revenue.
That nobody does.
Yes.
M&A is not done like that.
Sometimes you can.
What is it in your jigsaw puzzle that really needs to be fitted in and filled in, where you may require some inorganic acquisitions?
See, we have said that we did a deal in Japan. We did a deal in France. So we will always look at geographic expansion. We will look at if we can get any platforms which we think will be strategic for TCS. Definitely we will do those acquisitions. I think these are the two types of deals that we will do.
Any geographies that in particular you're looking at? Because with Japan, I think it made a huge difference.
We said we are looking at Japan, so we did this. We have said that we are continuing to look at different European markets, and then we'll also look at the US.
Is the pressure now much more after Cognizant struck that large deal on all the other IT companies to go the inorganic path for growth?
No, not at all. Not at all. I think every company has to have its strategy. It will be a big mistake if you extrapolate somebody else's strategy for your strategy, right? So I think our strategy is very clear and intact. And so there is no pressure. We will not do some acquisition unless or otherwise it fits with our thinking.
So how are the other competitors vis-a-vis you? Because we have seen another big company downgrade its guidance. Are clients really getting more selective when it comes to signing the deals and giving the IT mandate? And how is it that you are able to capture it more than some of the others?
Yeah, I really can't talk for anyone else other than TCS. And as I have said, I think the opportunity for technology is higher today than ever before. And we see customers adopting digital technologies in a significant way. So the growth of this business is going to be higher in the coming quarters and years. And so we seem to be doing things okay.
Let's talk about the largest market for you, the US market. Now, we've seen in the past a lot of things like visa issues, immigration policy we last spoke about, all of that really impacting the company, at least giving some concerns for the Indian IT sector. Now that our Prime Minister is going to the US, would you be part of the contingent? Because we did see you in Japan with him. So what is his thought process, and are we going to take a stand and tell US to ebb down these concerns that are really causing a lot of troubles in the IT sector?
I think the visa, the Prime Minister's visit to the US is a great thing because one is the IT companies, what it can do in the US, but by and large there is a phenomenal opportunity between US and India. I think Indian companies can do a lot in the US companies can do a lot in India across sectors. I think everyone recognizes that. I don't think this is missed by anybody. The opportunity to increase the bilateral trade in such a way there is a huge impact in exports, imports, or employment creation, or overall value creation, and every aspect. It's probably one of the biggest opportunities. So I'm pretty sure that will come up for discussion. And though I'm traveling in the US, and I'm not part of the delegation.
But are you expecting anything significant to come out of these bilateral talks between India and US?
I think so. I think the Prime Minister's visit to Japan was really successful. So I'm hoping that similar success will come out of the US visit.
India growth, that had been a problem for in the Q4 for TCS because the business was just not getting generated. But on a YOY basis, FY 13-14, you did grow by 1% and a little more than that. How are you seeing the India business growing now that Narendra Modi has taken charge, and probably e-governance to take more prominence now?
See, I have always maintained that India has a lot of potential, but things have to pick up. Things have not been picking up. So overall, I feel that our India business has a huge potential and we will do a lot more, but I think you've got to wait. When I feel confident and comfortable to say that from here on, India business is going to grow significantly, I'll come and tell you. Now, I expect that growth will come and a lot of opportunities will come, but I'll still be very watchful and calibrated.
All right. So talking about this particular quarter, of course, in your midterm quarterly review, you did talk about various factors. I want to bring about the cross currency impact and the negative impact of that, especially with pound, British pound, as well as euro depreciating beyond expectations against the US dollar. What is the kind of impact? Had we foreseen it, and will it also go on to the next few quarters? Do you see that risk? I know it's not very easy to gauge the currency movements, but how are you seeing that panning out?
Well, nobody can foresee it. The day I can foresee the currency movement,
you'll make a lot of money.
make a lot of money. We have said that based on the various rates that existed in the beginning of September, we have said that there will be a 80 basis point hit to the US dollar growth rate. Whether it will be 80 basis points, will it go to 100 basis points, 120 basis points, very much depends on what will be the closing currency rates on September 30th. So it's very, very hard to say, and I agree with you, all the things you said are happening. So
and rupee
we don't worry about it.
And rupee movement,
I just worry about the real business growth. I don't worry about currency movements because it's not in my control. There's very little I can do.
And what is the Japan growth that you're going to see? But because that's an inorganic growth that you have brought in, it will impact the numbers for this financial year as well.
We have said that this quarter we should get somewhere around $100 million, and that should repeat probably for the next 2 quarters.
And in the coming few years, because that has been one area you have been present there in a small way for a very long time. Then now you have pumped up your existence there with this particular joint venture. Many other companies have not managed to penetrate into that market, which is expected to be a big area of growth, but is very difficult to penetrate into. What is the growth that you're seeing from there?
See, we have just announced this about 3 months ago, less than 3 months ago. So I think you should give us this fiscal year. But I really believe that Japan growth rate will at least be equal to, if not more. I hope it will be more than the company growth rate.
And any other new growth areas that you are trying to focus on for the coming years?
No, just focus on what I said. That will be good.
And in terms of verticals, your BFS did well, but insurance bit was a little bit of slack. In this quarter also, it is going to be a slack, is what you said. Going forward, how do you see those vertical dynamics play out? Do you see any growth momentum in a particular one, which probably right now is more dormant than the others?
No, I think the good news is that we don't have any major worries on any of the industries we operate in.
Everything is good news.
Okay.
What is the bad news?
So that's the good portion. But if you ask me which will grow faster, I think retail continues to do very well. Utilities will do very well, and pharma will do very well. So these are some of the verticals which are picking up momentum. And so insurance, as you seem to know more. So as you said, it's soft.
You said it.
So it is soft. It continues to be soft, and hopefully it will come back in a quarter or two.
What are the various factors that you personally would be watching out for the growth momentum of TCS?
I think we have a lead on the digital. We just need to make sure that we continue to do all the right things to be able to leverage it in the context of customers. That's a very big area. Second is we have invested and built a lot of platforms. Okay, I really need to focus and accelerate the platform-based growth, not necessarily only financial adoption of customers. For me, that's key. How do I get platforms into many customers? Okay, we have multiple platforms, so we just need to launch and formally get into many customers. That's the second thing. Third thing is we have to make sure that the company's agility, company's speed, collaboration remains intact, gets better with an increasing base. That's not easy. That's easier said than done, because that will require one to constantly look at where can we improve, and so that's the third area. Fourth area, we'll watch out for any regulatory change in any part of the world, and any impact it can bring. So we need to get to that, and that's it. I think bring it all together, and make sure that the leadership is aligned and leadership is enjoying what they do.
All right, and your next 5 years would be more big bang than the last 5 years. Tell us.
I hope so.
And an international listing, is that something on the horizon? Everybody's been talking about when is TCS going to go overseas for a listing. Would you share your value creation with the international shareholders as well, NASDAQ listing per se or something?
Currently, we have no plans of any listing outside India. So we don't have such plans at all.
No long-term plan as well? No, that thought process does not exist?
No. At one point in time, we debated about it, and then we said it's not really necessary, so we left it at that. So I don't think we have any plans at this point in time to go international listing.
And finally, Chandra, I would like to know that there's new leadership at the helm of the Tata Group. Is there any particular mandate or structuring or any such guidance that has been provided from that side for the company which is giving highest growth to the group?
I think we've received an outstanding support from the group center, from Mr. Tata before, and now from Mr. Cyrus Mistry. I think we have been very grateful, I would say that, for the support we get from the group and for the the ability to operate the way we operate. So I think it's very important, and I think both of them have been extremely fine, extremely nice to us, and providing us all the support. So couldn't be happier.
All right, thanks, and we'll end it at that note. Thanks for your time, Chandra, and a pleasure meeting you. Thank you.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/etnow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at etnowlive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/etnow.